Is that a chicken?
We don't allow chickens in Oz.
Go hit the fucking button.
I don't know why it wasn't working. So, but it
You see how professional
you don't know
we
why
are.
it wasn't working. You just had me standing there with a piece of frozen chicken in my hand.
I like watching you hold that cock. All right.
It's the breast. It's you like seeing me fondle those breasts, is what it is.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
For
This
those
is
of
so
you that are
horrible.
listening, for those of you that are listening on audio podcast right now, I'm holding frozen chicken breasts.
yes.
Frozen chicken. Check it out on our YouTube.
I
Guys,
apologize
we try
for
to be
the.
as professional and organized as possible, and it still never works out.
Yeah, it never works. It never works. I
Still
mean,
never
yeah.
works. And that's why you like us. I'm sure that's why you like us.
If you haven't figured it out by the thumbnail or the intro, we are reviewing Return to Oz. This is an awesome movie, one or two people may say. But before we get into it, let's get into the trailer.
I hate you both. Yes, let's.
Here we go. Return to Oz.
You said you didn't even watch this movie.
Because I've seen it. I love this movie. I don't need to
We're
rewatch
talking
it.
about you. Talking about the bearded geek
This
over there.
summer, Walt Disney Pictures presents a motion picture
I've seen this
fantasy
movie.
adventure beyond your fondest imagination. You'll be transported miraculously back to the enchanted land of Oz, that magical kingdom beloved by young and
At
old
the
for
Yellow Brick
generations.
Road, and it's a
just a
puppet
yellow
chicken.
brick. No, Belina.
It's just
you
a
don't
little
understand. This was the Yellow Brick Road.
You'll share with Dorothy Gale the shock of finding everything mysteriously changed.
Oh,
What happened to everybody?
Like how
And
much
you'll
time
delight
has
with her
passed?
discovery
Did
of
they
four
say how much
wonderful
time
new
has
friends
passed from the
who
first time?
band together
I don't think that
against
they
a wicked
did.
queen and the dreaded Gnome King.
I don't think that they actually
This
mentioned
is
how much
the
time
Oz
passed.
you
but-
haven't seen before. And this is the Oz you'll want to visit
Such a
again
Jim
and again.
Henson movie. Or Brian
From Walt
Henson
Disney
movie.
Pictures comes a whole new world of entertainment.
Why don't we just fly back to Kansas?
Return to Oz.
All right, well, that is your trailer. Mikey the Freak, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this movie, please?
Oh, if they watch that trailer, they know a lot already. Dorothy, saved from a psychiatric
No, there was a
experiment.
lot missing.
Bro, look, just by this, it's crazy. Dorothy, saved by a psychiatric experiment by a mysterious girl, is somehow called back to Oz when a vain witch and the Gnome King destroy everything that makes the land magical.
Yes. Okay, so
Bro,
what was
look.
your thought on rewatch?
Listen, where do I start? So
Wait,
the movie.
was this your first time watching, Mikey?
No, I've seen it a few times, probably less than 10 times since it came out in the 80s. I believe this is my first time comprehending, because the last time I watched it, I was probably like 12,
Oh, so you were still shitting your
15ish.
pants.
Yeah, I like, what the fuck? This was a scary fucking movie for a 12-year-old, bro.
And a Disney movie.
What are you talking
Shut
about?
up.
I watched this as like a 7-year-old and I loved it.
Look, then that's what the problem is. I
Well,
figured
there's your fucking problem right there. Yeah.
that's it. Return to Oz. Taking their fucking heads off, a headless woman running at you. This is
Stealing
some
heads
serious-
from dancers. Yeah.
some deep psychiatric shit right here.
The wheelers with feet and hands of wheels just rolling around. Those were the ones that got me. The wheelers were the freaking creeps to me.
I love the Wheelers.
I thought, so rewatching it and kind of being able to sit down, I think this is the first time I've watched it from start to finish. So a kind of understanding and the relationship between like the Wizard of Oz and watching this movie and kind of being it is a sequel, but like I asked, I don't remember if they said a time frame like a year has passed because Dorothy's still quite young, so I would assume maybe a year.
Dorothy looks younger in this one than the original, and I will say it's because MGM owned the rights to Wizard of Oz, the movie, but Disney owned the rights to Wizard of Oz and the books, so they could make a movie and use the characters. That's why it's
likeness.
slightly different.
So
Yeah, so I didn't. Well, go ahead.
Okay, so LF Baum or whatever his name is, who wrote The Wizard of Oz, wrote multiple stories.
Mm-hmm.
What this is this movie is two separate stories from the world of Oz made into the movie. This is the story of the Gnome King, which is a separate story with Dorothy and all of that in Oz. And then you have, I believe it's Mumba, who's the woman who takes the heads of the other people.
Yeah.
So those are actually two stories that were written by L.F. Baum for the Wizard of Oz world, which is how Disney owned it, because they owned the books. They owned the rights to the books, which is how they were able to make the movies.
And they did have to pay MGM a license or a fee for the ruby red slippers because that was for the film only. So
Correct.
they had to pay a licensing fee for the use of the ruby red slippers.
Yeah, because in the original story, the slippers are silver. Another liability that MGM took with the original movie that is never described in the original story is Elphaba's skin color of being green. Elphaba being the Wicked Witch of the West, or the Wicked Witch of the East. I don't know what she is. I forget.
The West.
The West. The Wicked Witch of the West. It's a liability that they took with the movie to make her green. Her skin color is never talked about in the original books. They chose to make it green, which changed it ever since then. And another fun fact, the name of the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, is actually just the three letters of the author phonetically speaking, ELF, or Elphaba, ELB.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, continue on, Mikey, with your thoughts on rewatch.
What was I saying? Oh no. Other than being weird and creepy, it is a quite entertaining movie. To kind of understand like being the taking your heads off. That was kind of creepy. It is entertaining seeing a character like TikTok.
It's the original TikTok.
Right.
Yep, that was entertaining.
Introducing electroshock therapy into the
electroshock therapy to a kid, which was crazy.
I think that's just a great way to raise them.
Absolutely, that was huge. That was huge in the 40s and 50s.
They talk back, electroshock therapy, straight to jail.
Yeah, lobotomies were the rage back then. So
you know what I say. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Jesus.
But no, strange movie. I don't know if I would recommend it other than Steve would. I don't think I would recommend it to a kid. Just because there are, like I said, it's just some weird, not like, I guess they're creepy or grotesque type. And then just everything is kind of weird, like the Gnome King, the puppetry in this movie, the animation, the stuff they use is straight up 80s. I mean, you definitely can tell it is a very dated movie. But yeah, I mean, what you think, Bearded Geek?
So, I'm with you on it. I think it's very creepy. The Wheelers got to me when I was younger. I never really understood why it was so different from the original until, I got older and realized, licensing and stuff like that.
You
But
start to
it's
understand. You can comprehend it. That's what I was talking
yeah,
about. You comprehend like what the fuck has happened to Oz.
and
That
knowing that
kind of
there's
deal.
multiple stories, and this is like he took different things from different stories and made it into one movie. I never really understood why Dorothy was a lot younger than the in the original, and it's there's just some things about this movie that don't make sense. Like Dorothy's going through all this, and Aunt May is all concerned with her, but when she comes back,
Auntie
there's
M.
Auntie M. I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah,
Aunt
man.
and
May
Yeah,
is
man. Say
Spider Man.
Spider Man.
yeah,
It's Spider Man.
Auntie M is all concerned with her, and when she comes back from washing down the creek or whatever, she's
Take that,
found,
wicked
and
witch.
she's super happy with it. There's no worry at all. I don't know, man. It's just and you can't tell me that Jack the Pumpkin King is not inspired or had inspiration to for Jack
Jack
Skeleton.
Skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
But look, I thought it was so funny as the continuity errors between Jack Skeleton, Jack the Pumpkin, as an actual puppet,
uh
and
huh.
then you see them actually running through or running away, and the neck becomes a lot wider because you can tell it's somebody in the suit as they're running away. I was like,
It's
"Oh my god, the continuity error is
oh
terrible."
It
yeah,
was the 80s. Leave it alone.
it was the
That's
80s.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The puppetry was absolutely, I'd say,
some of it
horrendous.
was
They
pretty
liked
good.
it back then.
You're
Yeah,
TikTok was
absolutely horrendous.
yeah,
I
TikTok
am
was really
absolutely.
was really good.
Yeah, it
Um,
was an actor that was walking around on their hands upside down.
yep. Really? They were upside down. Okay. Well, but yeah, I enjoyed what they did with it all. It was just really, really fucking weird. Um, yeah, definitely not a kids movie. Maybe a teen movie. Definitely not a like 7, 8 year old movie. Definitely not.
Like Steve over here.
Yeah. Unless you want to grow up to be a psychopath like Steve. So, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Steve, what do you think about this movie
Steve,
on rewatch?
Steve, what do you think? So psychopath that watched it when he was 7. What do you think?
I love this movie.
That's why.
I watched this movie as a kid, continuously.
When you were 7.
When I was a kid, yeah, probably 7. I don't fucking remember. Um,
I was 6.
I was fucking 6. I was a child. I love this movie. I like I said before we recorded, when TikTok would have the lunch pails and spin in a circle, I'd grab 2 pillows and spin till I wanted to fucking vomit. And I love this movie. The Wheelers never. I don't remember being scared by this movie as a kid. Not saying this movie did not scare me as a child, but I'm saying that I've seen it enough and I've seen it so many times that I don't remember anything traumatic from this movie, neither the Wheelers nor the woman taking off the heads. I always just found it
Oh, the headless
interesting.
woman running down the hallway trying,
Nope, nope,
uh,
nope.
trying to get you.
I mean, I'm a child born in '82, so like I remember watching Tim Curry's It. I remember that scaring me. I remember that scared the shit out of me. Not so much The Wizard of Oz or Return
Hmm.
to Oz. And the reason that Dorothy is so much younger in this than the original is because in the original, Judy Garland is 15 years old, and in this movie, Beelzebub is like 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How would you rate this movie, Mikey the Freak?
Man, I would say that I would go a little higher because I did like the nostalgia, the callbacks, because it is an Oz sequel. So like the Yellow Brick Road, I was kind of upset. Like, holy shit, the Yellow Brick Road is destroyed. How are they going to know where to get to Oz? Um, Seeing everybody, the witch or the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, that nostalgia was pretty cool. But as a kid, like I said, it's kind of comprehending. So I'm gonna have to go with a 6. just because I mean it is a Wizard of Oz story. I did enjoy the Wizard of Oz. I enjoy Wicked. If you know, I can't wait. For the sequel's going to be great in November. So yeah, I'm just I have to go with a 6 just because of that. And I did like how does she pronounce her name?
Feels a book.
Fails a bulk. Yeah, I liked her in The Worst Witch. Was also around the '80s, around the same time frame. Uh, so that kind of deal. So I did
All
like her
right.
when she was a child as well. So six is solid 6 for me.
So I'll give it a 7. I as weird and as creepy as it is, it's still a fun movie. It's an I won't say enjoyable, but it's entertaining. It's not one that you're gonna be in your phone because you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is gonna happen next?" type
What the
deal.
hell is going on?
Yeah, don't take acid and watch this movie. That's a no no.
See, I
That's a
told
no
you
no.
the same thing. It's an
No,
acid
you
trip.
said take acid. You said take acid and the movie might be enjoyable. He's saying don't take acid. Those are two completely. That's a yes. That's a no.
I said if you're tripping on acid, the movie would probably be great.
No,
And
I think it's a good, but I don't think it's for any under the age of 9. I think double digits is probably the safest place for kids to watch this movie.
Well, if you're on
Uh,
acid, hopefully you're over age of 21.
yeah, it's just it's creepy. Steve, what would you rate this movie?
It's
seven point 7.5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, so we're pretty close. Me and you are pretty close on it.
Yeah.
All right, now for some interesting-ish facts. So this was the first film to use the Walt Disney Pictures logo with the rainbow going over the blue castle. So first film. Originally, the Scarecrow, Tin Woodsman, and Cowardly Lion were to have more of a prominent role in this film. However, budget cuts forced their appearance to be reduced to mere cameos.
Stone.
And directorial debut of editor Walter Murch. As of 2024, it remains as the only film he ever directed.
And I may be wrong in your interesting facts, but Disney almost scrapped this movie, and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg stepped in and said, absolutely no way, and stayed on set to make sure the entire thing got finished.
You're correct. What happened was it fell behind on and over budget, and they almost scrapped it. So, but you're right. George Lucas and the other guy came on and definitely made
The
sure
other
that
guy, one of the greatest directors to ever
the
fucking
other guy.
direct.
Steven Spielberg, the other guy.
The other guy,
Yeah,
Jurassic
the
Park
other
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
The ET guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park guy. The guy that's won, more Oscars than anyone can fucking count guy.
Yeah.
Had probably more number one hits in the box office than any other director guy.
Sure. Help me.
Yeah, that guy.
Steve, what do we have for soundtrack?
There is no soundtrack. I went to go look it up on IMDb.
Sing it.
And bum 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 bum.
Okay, that's enough. Mikey the Freak.
Bum 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 bum.
Mikey the Freak, what do we have for related reel, sir?
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Veruza Balk. The Worst Witch, which was also with Tim Curry. Great movie, great kids movies, the 80s, with Charlotte Ray. So great movie. One of her newer ones, I'd say newer, but one everybody knows her from is The Water Boy, of course, Vicky Valancourt.
She showed me her boobies and I like them too.
Yeah, exactly.
And the alligator maggots of the medulla oblongata.
And American History X, which is also a great movie that she was in.
You say great. I say you can watch that movie once and never have to watch it again.
Absolutely. Matt Clark, which Bearded Geek just saw him. Just
I
met him
did.
the other day.
I did.
Matt Clark, Outlaw Josie Wells. Crazy flick. Crazy flick. Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Another crazy movie. And then, of course, the bartender from Back to the Future 3, which is
Mhm.
why the Bearded Geek went and met him this weekend.
And I got you his autograph on Return to Oz, so congrats.
I will wipe that shit with my ass. All right. Deep Roy, the legendary Deep Roy. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's
Wait,
every.
who the fuck is Deep Roy in this movie?
He's the Tin Man. He's
The,
credited as the Tin Man in this movie.
the Tin Man or TikTok?
Tin Man.
Okay.
He's look it up. I wanted to come up with somebody that was different, that everybody knew, but I was like, holy shit, it's Deep Roy. But yeah, he's credited. It says the Tin Man. I would assume TikTok because he is short, but it says Tin Man. Of course, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Everybody knows he's all the Oompa Loompas.
Doobity doo.
He was actually Yoda in Empire the Strikes Back, which
True.
I didn't know that, but that's kind of cool.
Never
And then never ending story. So
All
that's
right,
all
and
I've got.
those are your related reels. Hey man, if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumb and hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you've seen Return to Oz. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a movie. Steve.
It's available.
a
It's
movie.
available on Disney Plus.
Steve, where can people find you?
Well, you could find me on Instagram and or YouTube and or Facebook under One Ring Circus. That's ORC One Ring Circus, and that's a burp. That's amazing.
All right, make sure you check out the sister channel of Back to
my
the Retro
God.
Review. That would be the Mod Squad Network,
Behind
where
the
we
Scenes.
do. Was that the
Behind
Mod
your
Squad
head.
Network? Yeah, that one right there. Where we do a lot of reactions of trailer reviews and stuff like that, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right, I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Bearded Geek saying, if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
Don't go back to Oz.